Hello students, I welcome you all to the online video lecture on course Heat Transfer, module number 5, chapter 2, that is boiling and condensation. This is lecture number 2. In lecture number 1, we have seen the introduction to boiling and condensation. In that we have studied the definition of boiling, the different forms of boiling, like basically there are 4 forms of boiling. The first one is pool boiling, second one is nucleate boiling, third one is subcooled boiling, and fourth one is saturated boiling. In the today's class, in lecture number 2, we will see a very important topic which is extremely important from your examination point of view, that is the regimes of boiling, or popularly it is known as the boiling curve. Popularly it is known as boiling curve. Okay. Now the process of boiling depends on nature of surface, the thermophysical properties of fluid, and the vapor bubble dynamics. So basically the boiling phenomena or boiling process depends on the nature of surface. The first parameter on which the boiling depends is nature of surface. The second one is thermophysical properties of fluid like density, specific volume, enthalpy, etc. So these are the some thermophysical properties of fluid on which it depends. And the third one is vapor bubble dynamics. Due to the involvement of large number of variables, general equations describing the boiling process are not available, because the boiling process is very complex as it depends on the various parameters, various thermophysical properties. Even it depends on the vapor bubble dynamics also. So it's very difficult to develop the relationship by using the first principle. So the fundamental equations are not available for this purpose. Okay. There are 3 definite regimes of boiling. So you have to remember the 3 different regimes of boiling. The first one is interface evaporation. The second one is nucleate boiling. And the third one is film boiling. So these are the 3 regimes of boiling. These are the 3 regimes of boiling. I repeat, the interface evaporation, which is also known as free convection zone. The second one is nucleate boiling. Third one is film boiling. Associated with the progressive increase in the heat flux, which will be shown in the graph. The specific curve has been obtained from an electrically heated platinum wire submerged in a pool of water at the saturation temperature by varying its surface temperature and measuring the surface heat flux. So this curve is obtained. This typical curve is also known as boiling curve, or which represents the different regimes of boiling. So this curve is obtained by considering a platinum electrical heater, the platinum electrical heater, which is submerged in the water. The water is at saturation temperature. The water is at saturation temperature, that is Tsat. At the 1 atmospheric pressure, the saturation temperature is around 100 degrees centigrades. At this condition, if you supply the heat to this heater, the temperature of this heater gradually increases, and hence we can obtain this curve. Okay. Now let us see how to draw this curve. So about the x-axis, we have the excess temperature. The excess temperature is a difference between a surface temperature. This Ts stands for surface temperature of platinum wire, and Tsat stands for the saturation temperature of surrounding fluid, that is water. So I repeat, the Ts is the surface temperature of this wire, and Tsat is the saturation temperature of water. Okay. Now about the y-axis, we have the heat flux. The rate of heat transfer per unit area is a heat flux, that is about the y-axis. About the axis is excess temperature, and about the y-axis we have the heat flux. Okay. Both can be measured. Now if we draw the curve, the nature of curve is something like this. This is the nature of curve. Now look at the point A here. This is also known as the critical point or boiling crisis. What is a boiling crisis, that will be seen in the further discussion. And this is the point B. Now the first region, this is a first region, or you can say regime 1. This is the regime 1, which is also known as the free convection zone or interface evaporation. This region is called the free convection zone or interface evaporation. Next, this region is a second region, which is also known as nucleate boiling, And in this region, we have the two sub-regions, that is region 2 and 3. In region 2, it is associated with the bubble condenses in the superheated liquid, and the third region, bubble rises to the surface. The third regime is known as film boiling. This regime is called the film boiling. It is divided into the three sub-regions, that is 4th, 5th, and 6th. The fourth region is unstable film. The fifth regime is associated with the stable film, and the sixth regime is associated with the radiation. Okay, radiation. So let us see one by one. So after drawing this curve is very important. So please practice it thoroughly. Okay. Now let us discuss about the first regime, that is interface evaporation. That is called interface evaporation. The interface evaporation or evaporation process with no bubble formation exists in region 1 called free convection zone. Here the excess temperature is very small and it is approximately equals to 5 degrees centigrade. In this region, the liquid near to the surface is superheated slightly, and the convection current circulates the liquid, and the evaporation takes place at the liquid surface. Okay, the first regime is called interface evaporation. Now let me consider this as water bath, a metallic water bath, which contains some amount of water here up to this level, 3/4 of the total level, and this is say heater. I'm using this as a heater, the platinum electrical heater. If delta T stands for excess temperature, it is a difference between the surface temperature and the saturation temperature. It is a difference between surface temperature of the platinum wire and the saturation temperature. If the difference between these two is approximately equals to 5 degrees centigrade, then that region is called the interface evaporation. During this, so if the temperature difference is approximately equals to 5 degrees centigrade, then it is associated with the interface evaporation. Now during this interface evaporation, the liquid which is near to this surface, it is superheated. Okay, it is superheated, and as it is superheated, it undergo expansion. So as it undergo the expansion, so you know the density equals to mass by volume. So as it undergo the expansion process, the volume of this liquid will increase, and hence the density will decrease. So the portion of liquid which is nearer to heater, its density will decrease, and the portion of liquid which is on top surface, which is beyond the heater, it has more density. So due to the density difference between the bottom layer and the top layer, there is a circulation of fluid. That means this portion of fluid, it will go up, and the liquid which is on top surface, it comes down. So this is called the natural circulation or free convection. the hot fluid which is going out to the top surface, it get evaporated at the top surface. Okay, so this is called interface evaporation. This process is called interface evaporation. So this happens when the delta T value, when the excess temperature or the difference between the surface temperature and the saturation temperature is approximately equals to 5 degrees centigrade. So please remember the exact value of the temperature, or it is approximately equals to 5 degrees centigrade to represent the interface evaporation. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now let's go to the next regime, that is called nucleate boiling. That is called the nucleate boiling. The second regime that is a nucleate boiling. So nucleate boiling is further divided into two sub-regimes. In the second sub-regime, bubbles condenses in the superheated liquid, and the third regime, bubble rises to the surface. If the temperature difference or the excess temperature is more than 5 degrees centigrade. So up till here it represents the temperature difference up to 5 degrees centigrade, approximately equals to 5 degrees centigrade. Upon further heating, the temperature difference will again increase. So if the temperature difference, that is excess temperature, is more than 5 degrees centigrade, then the nucleate boiling comes into picture. In the nucleate boiling, what happens? Now let us consider the same water tank or water bath, metallic water bath, which is having some liquid, and let's also assume a heater, a metallic platinum heater. Okay, a metallic platinum heater. Now upon further increase in the temperature difference or the excess temperature, which is beyond 5 degrees centigrade, the bubbles are formed. The small bubbles are formed near the surface or on the surface of the metallic surface or the metallic surface. Small bubbles are formed. As these bubbles are formed, these bubbles will detach from the surface and it condenses into the liquid. Without reaching up to the top level. I repeat, in the nucleate boiling, further it is divided into two regimes. In the second regime, the bubble condenses in the superheated liquid without reaching up to the surface. The bubbles are formed and it gets detached from the surface, and up till this region it condenses. Up till this region it reaches, and after that it condenses in the liquid itself. But upon further increase in the excess temperature or the temperature difference, the bubble will rises to the surface. So the third regime represents bubble which rises to the surface. So whatever the bubbles which are formed on the surface of the metallic heater, these bubbles will rises up to the surface and it collapses at the surface. So this is called the third regime in the nucleate boiling. So up to this, the temperature difference is 5 degrees centigrade, approximately equals to 5 degrees centigrade, and up to here the temperature difference ranges between 5 to 50 degrees centigrade. 5 to 50 degrees centigrade. Between this point and this point A, the temperature difference or the excess temperature that is delta TE is in between 5 degrees centigrade to 50 degrees centigrade. When it reaches to point A, that is called the boiling crisis or the burnout point, the boiling crisis. Okay. So after this point A, the third regime is film boiling. So whatever the explanations are there, that we'll see now for the nucleate boiling. Whatever the explanation is there, we'll see the explanation for nucleate boiling. So whatever I explained till now, the same thing is there. Okay, fine. Now in the nucleate boiling, the second one is nucleate boiling. This type of boiling exists in region second and third. That is region second and third. With the increase in delta T, that is excess temperature, the formation of bubble on the surface of the wire at certain localized spots commences. The bubble condenses in the liquid without reaching to the liquid surface, as I said, without reaching to the surface in the region 2. In fact, it is in the region 2 where the nucleate boiling starts. With further increase in delta TE, that is excess temperature, the bubbles are formed more rapidly and rises to the surface of liquid, resulting in rapid evaporation as indicated in region 3. So the region 3 is dedicated for the region 3, that is bubbles, as the tendency of bubble formation rapidly increases, and further it detached from the surface and it rises up to the surface, and hence the tendency of evaporation is more in the third region. Okay. The nucleate boiling is thus characterized by the formation of bubbles at the nucleation sites and the resulting liquid agitation. The bubble agitation induces considerable fluid mixing, and that promotes the substantial increase in the heat flux and the boiling heat transfer coefficient. The equipment is designed to operate in this region only. This is very important point. This is the very important point. So whatever the heating equipments that are designed, they are designed to operate within the region, within this region only, within this region only. So whatever the heating equipments we are using for heating purpose, they are designed to operate in this region only, in this region only. Okay. Now, the nucleate boiling exists up to when the excess temperature or the temperature difference is 50 degrees centigrade. As I said, the nucleate boiling starts when the temperature difference is equals to 5 degrees centigrade or more than 5 degrees centigrade, and it will continues up to when the temperature difference equals to 50 degrees centigrade. The maximum heat flux is known as critical heat flux, which occurs at point A, and it is of the order 1 megawatt per meter square. So this is a maximum heat flux at the critical point or at the point A, or at the point A. So let us see this curve. Let us see this curve. So this point A is called the boiling crisis, or the maximum, or the critical heat flux, or the critical heat flux, where the heat flux is maximum. It is around 1 megawatt per meter square. 1 megawatt per meter square. So in nucleate boiling, you can observe there is a continuous rise or continuous increase in the heat flux up to the point A, up to the point A. And beyond this point, there is a drastic reduction in the heat flux. So which comes under the third regime, which is known as the film boiling, So let us see what are the things which are going to happen in the film boiling. Film boiling comprises of region 4, 5, and 6. The trend of increase in the heat flux with increase in excess temperature is observed up to the region 3. So the trend of increase in the heat flux, with the increase in the excess temperature is observed up to the nucleate boiling, up to the point A, But upon further increasing, observed to the region 3 and is reversed in region 4, called film boiling. This is due to the fact that the bubble formation is very rapid and the bubbles blanket the heating surface and it prevents the incoming fresh liquid from taking their place. Eventually, the bubble coalesces and forms a vapor film which covers the surface completely. So let us understand this. So in this film boiling region, what will happen? So look at here carefully. This is a water tank or water, metallic water bath. Now this is a heater. This is the heater, metallic heater. If you increase the temperature difference, that is excess temperature delta TE equals to or more than 50 degrees centigrades. If it is more than 50 degrees centigrades, then the tendency of bubble formation will increase. So as the bubble formation increases, you can see the blanket of these bubbles. A small film is formed over the surface of this heater. So that is known as film. So these are the bubbles which are formed over the surface or over the surface of metallic heater. And as these bubbles coalesces with each other, when these bubbles coalesces with each other, thereby forming a film, a vapor film over the surface of heater, over the surface of this heater. So this film consists of the vapor or water in the vapor state or water in the vapor state. So that's why it is known as the film, the liquid film, which comprises the water vapor. Now we know that the thermal conductivity of this vapor is less than that of liquid. I repeat, the thermal conductivity of vapor, the thermal conductivity K for vapor is less than that of thermal conductivity of liquid. So that's why the heat transfer rate from the heating surface to the liquid, that will decreases, because this film acts as a barrier. This film acts as a barrier between the solid surface and the liquid which is surrounding the solid surface. Okay, so due to this resistance, due to this barrier, there is a drastic reduction in the heat flux. There is the drastic reduction in heat flux beyond the point A. Why the heat flux is decreasing? Because of the formation of film, and we know that in that film we have the water vapor, and we know that the thermal conductivity of vapor is less than that of liquid. So that film acts as a barrier or the resistance for further heat flow. So upon further increasing the excess temperature, the heat flux continuously decreases. So this is also known as the unstable film. This is also known as the unstable film. Now upon further increase in the heat flux, the film becomes stable. The film becomes stable, or the thickness of that film will continuously increases. Okay, so let's have the brief overview on these points. Okay, since the thermal conductivity of vapor film is much lesser than that of liquid, the heat flux with growth in delta E, the excess temperature, within the temperature range 50, when the excess temperature is in between 50 to 150 degrees centigrades, this is the excess temperature or the temperature difference. The condition oscillates between the nucleate and film boiling, and the phase is referred as transition boiling. The unstable film boiling or partial film boiling, that is a region 4, just now we have discussed the unstable film. With further increase in the delta TE, the vapor film is stabilized and heating surface is completely stabilized, and heating surface is completely covered by the blanket, and the heat flux is lowest as shown in the region 5. So upon further increase in the delta TE value, that is excess temperature, because of the formation of stable film, there is a drastic reduction in heat flux, and the heat flux will attain the lowest value. The heat flux will attain the lowest value. Okay. Now let us proceed further. What will happen upon further increase in the delta TE value? upon further increase in delta TE value. With further increase in delta TE, the vapor film is stabilized and heating surface is completely stabilized, and the heating surface is completely covered by a blanket, and the heat flux is lowest as shown in the region 5. The surface temperature required to maintain a stable film is high. Under these conditions, a sizable amount of heat is lost by the surface due to the radiation. So in the last region, the radiation comes into picture as indicated in region 6. So this is the region 6 where the radiation comes into picture. Upon further increase in the temperature difference or the excess temperature, the radiation comes into picture. So whatever the heat which is generated by that metallic surface or the heater, that heat will be lost in the form of radiation, because between the solid medium and the surrounding liquid, the film is generated, the film is formed. So that film consists of the vapor, the water vapor, which acts like a barrier. Okay, so that's why the radiation comes into picture. Okay, the phenomena of stable film boiling can be observed when the drop of water falls on red hot stove. This is due to the formation of stable film at the interface between hot surface and the liquid droplet. So if you take a droplet of water, let us consider this as a hot plate. Let us consider this as a hot plate, a red hot plate, a red hot stove. So if you drop a liquid droplet, a drop of water, then this droplet will dance first. Okay, so why? Because there is a film, the film is formed between the hot surface and this liquid. So due to the formation of this film, you can observe a stable film. You can observe a stable film between the hot surface and the liquid bubble or liquid droplet. Okay, so this is called the sixth region, that is radiation in the boiling regime. Now, what do you mean by this critical heat flux or burnout point? The critical heat flux or burnout point, the point A, is a point of maximum heat flux on the boiling curve at which the transition from liquid nucleate to film boiling initiates. Liquid nucleate from the nucleate boiling to the film boiling initiates. This point is also called as the boiling crisis because the boiling process beyond that point is unstable unless it reaches to the point B. The temperature at point B is normally above the melting point of solid. So if the heating of metallic surface is not limited to point A, it is possible that the metal get damaged or it may even melt. For this region, the point A is often termed as boiling crisis or burnout point. Thus, we may be interested to operate the equipment close to the value and not beyond it. Okay, now what do you mean by this critical heat flux or burnout point? Now point A is called burnout point or the critical point or the critical heat flux point. Every heating equipment or electrical heater is designed in such a way that it should operate up to the point A. It should not cross beyond point A. Once it crosses the point A, then the phenomena will become unstable till it reaches to point B. So point B has such a higher value, or the surface temperature is such a higher value that it is more than the melting point of solid. At this point B, the heater metal will get melts, and the entire heater will get damaged. Okay, so this is called, so the point A is called burnout point or the critical heat flux point. So whatever the heater which we are using, it should operate. They are designed in such a way that it should operate up to the point A. it should not even reach the point A. Okay, because once it reaches the point A, then the reaction will be uncontrollable, the process will be uncontrollable, and hence it reaches up to the point B. So that will damage the complete system. That will damage the complete heating device. Okay, so sometimes he will ask, what is the critical heat flux or the burnout point in the boiling curve? Okay, so you should be in a position to explain this. Okay, so with this, we have completed the today's lecture, or the topic that is entitled as regimes of boiling or boiling curve. Okay, so if you have any doubt anywhere, you can put your comments in the comment box. So please don't forget to subscribe the channel, like the channel, and share the channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon. So whenever I put a new video on YouTube, you will get the notification instantly. So stay safe, stay at home. Thank you and have a nice day.